Confucius say squirrel who run up woman's leg find no nuts. Actually, most of us are confused. Confucius not say that. We've all heard the name, we've all heard the quotes. But who the hell was Confucius really? And how did an ancient Chinese teacher become a punchline for jokes like Confucius say, if you want pretty nurse, you must be patient? Welcome back to One Up the Annals, where shame becomes legend and history gets dragged into the light whether it likes it or not. Because the truth? Confucius actually did say this: those who know the truth are not equal to those who love it, and they who love it are not equal to those who delight in it. I'm your host, Rab Greeson, and I say, today we're doing something rare. We're digging up an icon who somehow became famous for things he didn't even say. In tonight's fortune cookie Confucius disclaimer. Confucius say, men who expect perfect history podcast, prepare for mild disappointment. Hosts who tell story with humor may step on sacred toes. If listener become offended, listener should examine why. Confucius also say, episode contain sharp words, mild irreverence, and occasional beard envy. If you seek textbook recital, close app now. If you seek wisdom wrapped in sarcasm, please stay. Man who mistake meme for history get confused. Host who mix facts with flavor still host. Listener who cannot handle nuance should chew slowly. This episode contains ancient philosophy, modern sarcasm, and one unnecessary beard reference. Proceed wisely. Confucius say, let's go. Before we get into this, we have to unpack his name, because the name you think you know is already a bit of a misquote. In China, he wasn't called Confucius. His family name was Kong, which is just a surname like Smith or Garcia. Then there's Fuzi. That's not his first name, it's a title of respect that basically means teacher or master. Put them together, Kong Fuzi, and you get Master Kong. Then in the 16th century, Jesuit missionaries Latinized Kong Fuzi into Confucius as a sign of respect and elevating his status, and Europeans could say it easier. So when we say Confucius, we're really just saying Master Kong. See? Not so Kong-fusing anymore, is it? So at the start of each section, I give two Confucius say lines, and I'll leave it up to you if which he said and which we wish he said. And we will learn about this dude of thinking together. Section 1, a young Confucius. Confucius say, a youth is to be regarded with respect. How do we know that his future will not be equal to our present? Or, Confucius say, crowded elevators smell different to little kid. First, he wasn't a god, he wasn't a wizard, he wasn't a fortune cookie. Confucius was born around 551 BCE in what's now China. His dad died when he was young. He didn't grow up in luxury. He grew up watching how messy people can be, and getting obsessed with one question. Why is society such a disaster? And can it be fixed? He worked regular jobs, minor government roles, administrative type work, and slowly became the guy people came to for advice, because he wasn't selling magic. He was selling behavior. Self-control, respect, discipline, the kind of stuff nobody wants until everything falls apart. Confucius wasn't trying to win debates, he was trying to stop humans from acting like humans. Section 2. What made him smart? Confucius say, real knowledge is knowing the extent of one's ignorance. Or, did Confucius say, wise man never played leapfrog with unicorn? And here's a bonus guess. Confucius say, realization that problems can be solved non-violently occurs when mosquito lands on testicles. Here's what made him different. He wasn't building some fantasy utopia. He wasn't obsessed with abstract theories floating in outer space. Confucius was practical. He taught how to be a decent person, how to treat your parents, how to act in public, how leaders should lead without being corrupt clowns. He basically looked at society and said, you want a better world? Cool. Start with your attitude and your mouth and how you treat people when nobody's watching. That's why he hit. Because his wisdom wasn't for philosophers, it was for everyone. The modern take. Plato feels like a guy who talks at you from a podium. Confucius? He feels like the guy you could grab a beer with and somehow leave the bar acting like a better human. Section 3. Confucius say, men with long beard appear wise, until wind blow. Or, real knowledge is to know the extent of one's ignorance. Small detail about Confucius. We don't actually have real portraits from his time. So the stereotypical ancient wise prophet look people imagine, that came later. But in traditional depictions, he's often shown with a beard, because a beard symbolized dignity and wisdom. Which is great news for me, because if beards equal intelligence, I should be solving physics problems in my sleep. Am I right, Bo? He has one of those ancient Chinese Confucius beards and a beard company to support all the grooming. Check out Regal Mains for ancient wisdom and modern grooming products. Regal Mains puts the bow in beautiful beards. Section 4. Was he famous when he was alive? Let's see what Confucius say about fame and pride. Multiple choice. A. The superior man has a dignified ease without pride. The mean man has pride without a dignified ease. I am not concerned that I am not known. I seek to be worthy to be known. Or B. Confucius say, man with hand in pocket feel cocky all day. C. Confucius say, man who chase fame usually trip over ego. Or is it D. Man who polish own statue too early, still alive to see pigeon use it as target practice. Now here's the part people don't realize. Confucius wasn't world famous while he was alive. He had students, he had followers. But he spent a lot of his life frustrated, trying to convince rulers to adopt his ideas and getting ignored. He wasn't a celebrity philosopher. He was more like a guy yelling, please, stop being stupid. And watching the world go, no thanks. In modern terms, Confucius didn't go viral in his lifetime. He went viral 2 centuries later. Section 5. How he blew up. Confucius say, if a ruler himself is upright, all will go well even though he gives no orders. Or was it, Confucius say, man who run in front of car get tired, man who run behind car get exhausted. And then something strange happens. About 200 years after he died, the Han Dynasty starts adopting Confucian thought as a foundation for government and education. And once the state says this is philosophy, it becomes the philosophy. His teachings get compiled and preserved, especially in a text called the Annals. Basically a collection of sayings and conversations recorded by followers. And from there, it's over. Confucius becomes the blueprint for school, civil service, leadership, family behavior, everything. The man died thinking he failed, then he got turned into a whole operating system. Section 6. How he ended up in fortune cookies, and Confucius say. Confucius say, man who walked through airport turnstile sideways, going to Bangkok. Or, Confucius say, man who stand on toilet, high on pot. Nah, kidding, both are fake in this section. And now we arrive at the crime scene. Fortune cookies are an ancient Chinese tradition, they're an American invention. But once Confucius became the international symbol of wisdom, pop culture did what it always does. It flattened him into a meme, and then slapped a stereotype onto his picture. So Confucius says becomes a comedy setup. And a lot of those quotes you hear, not his, not even close. So if you were confused by Confucius, at least now you're doing it historically accurate. Here's why he lasted. Because he wasn't teaching people how to sound smart, he was teaching people how to live better. And the wild part? In 2026, with social media and egos and everyone trying to win, Confucius is still standing there like, hey, try not being a jerk. Just start there. His whole idea was this society is a giant machine, and ritual is the WD-40. Without it, the gears grind, the engine smokes, and we all end up screaming at each other in traffic. He wasn't trying to save your soul, he was trying to save your neighborhood. I'm your enlightened host, Rab Greeson, where Confucius becomes legend, and confusion doesn't stand a chance. I came to clear up confusion, you stayed for the Confucius, and now, it's in the annals. Good night.